All right, Mavs fans, you're going to get a chance this season to follow me, Rodney Fisher, throughout the entire Mavericks season and watch me lose weight with the help of downsizefitness.com. Make sure you check them out at downsizefitness.com, 469-206-3756. They've got 2 locations in the DFW area, one by the Galleria Mall in Dallas and also in Hurst. So check them out, Downsize Fitness, 469-206-3756. Let's go to the Mavs. Welcome to another edition of the Mavs Video Recap. I am Rodney Fisher of RFSportsRadio.com. Tonight was a closer game than what it should have been for the Mavericks, but they do get the win. They improved to 3-1 after beating the Boston Celtics 118-113. And tonight was a game that was too tough for the Mavericks. They were up by 31 points, and then the Celtics came roaring back in the second half, cutting the lead to only 1 point and going down to the final seconds before the Mavericks could secure the win. Let's go directly to the coaches. We'll hear from Coach Rick Carlisle and also Coach Brad Stevens as well, the Boston Celtics.
We got to do better. Got to do better. What was wrong? We just got to do better, you know. And look, I'll take continue getting the leads. That'll be great. If we can keep doing that, you know, we'll deal with the other stuff. We'll get it solved. It's hard to get a young athletic team that's pissed off coming out in the second half, and they came right at us and we didn't do a good job. So we're going to have to do better, and our guys know that.
How much of a concern is there with the Minu?
Wants to know, what did you tell those guys during halftime?
So you have to play. You know, you can't start that way. You can't start that way against anybody. You can't start that way against the best offense in the league. And they had it rolling, they had it moving, but they didn't. It was like one team was playing 5-on-0 in the first half, and then we got into the ball and tried to play a little bit more to our identity. And we played better, and it's easy to play when you're down 26. It's hard to play when you're up 26.
Despite the loss, are you proud of your team's resiliency in the second half?
Yeah, but, you know, don't start that way. Start the right way.
What was different about the
We're
first
back.
half?
As I mentioned before, the Celtics did a good job in the second half of coming back. You heard Coach Stevens talk about it as well, although they didn't put both halves together. It was also the homecoming of Dallas' own Marcus Smart, who was in the building with about 50 fans from Cloud Mountain to watch him perform. Let's go and hear from Marcus Smart. He talks about his first game back in Dallas.
Can you put your finger on just why this team, these last 2 games, had really a tough go of things early on, but were able to kind of get a little bit of traction in the second half?
We're not that aggressive. You know, teams take it to us first instead of the other way around. And, you know, we dig ourselves a hole. It's tough to come back playing a good team once you dug yourself that hole.
And that 3-pointer that you hit in the fourth, take us through that play.
I wasn't going to take it, actually, but, you know, Coach Stevens was yelling at me to shoot it. So I shot the ball. You know, I was trying to, get it to Avery or Jeff. They were hot, so... But I was open.
Hey guys, welcome back, Mavericks fans. And again, the Mavs get the win tonight. They improved to 3-1, 118-113 over the Boston Celtics. Let's go listen to Tyson Chandler and Chandler Parsons, the Chandler and Chandler law firm, as people like to say. And here's what they had to say about tonight's game as the Mavs get the win.
Is it just the fact that if you put 70 on everybody in the first half, they're going to come out swinging in the third, or are there issues defensively?
Yeah, I mean, it's only natural to kind of take a breath, but we're building it. You know, we understand it's something we got to work on, and we'll definitely take it. All these cameras and nobody got nothing to say, huh?
All right, follow-up. You're rotating 11 and 12 guys in and out of the games. Is there still getting the feeling for each other both offensively and defensively?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like I say, we're coming out and we're doing great offensively, and, we have, clearly a great system. It's still a new group of guys. We're still learning one another. But I think Coach is doing an excellent job of rotating us in and out. And, once we get things down, hopefully we can get a little rest in the second half, and, we'll be able to continue to be fresh.
How much on the court are you in charge of this? Your past tenure here, you were very in charge of. If it goes this way, rotating this way, you still in charge when you're on the court?
Yeah, but guys are learning, you know, so right now we're doing a lot of scrambling, you know, exhausting a lot of energy that isn't necessary, you know, because we're making up, you know, from mistakes and, you know, working really hard but not in the right position. So it's just really about locking in and understanding really what we're trying to accomplish while we're out there.